Hey guys, what's up? Dan here with a new video. League Star Hype boys, League Star Hype, just a few more hours and we're gonna play the 3.23 Affliction League. I have prepared some backup farming strategies that you can run in low tier 5 maps to generate quite a lot of currency, as you guys can see here. These farming strategies should only be used if your build doesn't have enough power to farm tier 16 maps, or maybe you've messed up a build a little bit, or maybe some key upgrades that would allow you to go into tier 16 maps are meta and they're extremely expensive. Well, you can farm a few essences and a few other mechanics in low tier maps and get yourself quite a lot of currency. And here are the numbers, quite a lot of them. I can't really know what prices we're gonna have at the start of the 3.23 Affliction League, but what I can do is go on PoE Ninja and use the day 5 prices that we had at the start of the 3.22 trial of the Ancestors League. Everything that you see here, day 5 prices of the total league, manually done. Quite a lot of work went into making this video. This is what you're gonna be able to get out of essences and harvest, and this is what you're gonna be able to get out of essences and expeditions. With expeditions, I decided to underprice a few things. I dropped 3 6 linked armors. You're not gonna be selling these for 15 chaos at the start of the league, uncorrupted by the way, but I didn't want to inflate the numbers too much. You're probably gonna have slightly better results with essences and expeditions in the first week of the league, but nonetheless I would say 300 or so chaos profit per hour without corrupting your essences, so truly a bare minimum league start farming strategy. We're only using alchemies, boys, and whatever nice map you have in your stash tab. I did make a small mistake as I was farming these maps. I forgot to spec into the 4 nodes that give you a lot of chance to encounter harvests in your maps. I ran the numbers here with a percentage calculator. This is what should have happened if I would have spec'd into those 4 nodes. I was quite surprised that I wasn't getting that many harvests, but I only figured it out after I ran those 50 maps. Alright, so around 300 chaos profit per hour is what you're gonna be able to get out of these farming strategies. You have your spreadsheet in the pinned comment in the description of this video, and you can check the numbers yourself and see if they're accurate or not. This is the first Atlas skill tree that we're gonna take a look at. We have harvest, we have essences, and we also have stream of consciousness. We're also using these blog nodes to get more harvest, more essences in our maps, and maybe if you have a few extra points, what you can do is go for operative strong boxes, although if I'm not mistaken in low tier maps you're only getting rusted scarab, so it's probably not that good. We're using 77 points for this Atlas, and we're using 75 points for the essences plus expedition combo. Now let's say that you ran 50 maps, you're really enjoying this farming strategy and you wanna run it more. What you can do is get a few more points and you can spec into these mortal gateways. You have 6 of them, and once you have spec into these 6 gateways, you can spec into the 7th gate, which is gonna give you access to the essence craft on the map device. We're using 88 points for essences, 7th gate and the harvest, and we're using 87 points for expedition, 7th gate and essences. And using these 2 Atlas skill trees, you're gonna get a lot more than what I've shown you here, but this is supposed to be a bare minimum league start. In the first 50 maps, you're not gonna be rich, you're not gonna have enough currency to go for crafts on the map device. Let's go run a few maps together. For the 2 maps that we're gonna take a look at, I just use an alchemy orb. I am trying to keep this as low investment as I can. We're gonna run a map with Delirium and 1 map without Delirium. You can use any tier 5 map that you have, and there are pretty much 2 ways that you can run these maps. You either use the chaos recipe and you fully clear the maps, or if you don't like using the chaos recipe, you can run them like I've done for this video. So what I'm going for here is a high value targets approach. One moment. So what exactly do I mean by a high value targets approach? Well, as you can see, we have defeated quite a lot of monsters here, but there's not a lot of loot, right? So if you want to get some loot out of these monsters, you're gonna have to run the chaos recipe. If you don't want to run the chaos recipe, what you should do is just focus on the high value targets. and we have around 3, maybe 4 high value targets. So we're basically gonna just run through these maps as fast as we can, and whenever we see an essence, a map boss, or an expedition or a harvest, depending on what your third mechanic is, that is when you fight. Besides that, we just skip everything, right? So these guys, I'm not gonna fight them if I'm not using the Chaos Recipe tool. Now my monsters are still gonna destroy a few packs along the way. Alright, so we're skipping past everything and we're going towards the map boss, the second high value target. We're gonna take down the map boss. We also dropped a pair of gloves. And now we're gonna continue exploring the map. And again, we're interested in high value targets. And as I've mentioned at the start of the map, we have 3, maybe 4. We have the map boss, we have the essence, and we also have the expedition. And we're exploring the map. We're not interested in fighting these guys. So let's see if we manage to find another essence, another expedition. Oh, okay, so we've reached the end of the map. Now let's explore this top side right here and see maybe if there is a hidden essence. You're gonna find some essences here every now and then. Okay, so this is how you can run these maps, right? So there's pretty much 2 ways, like I've already mentioned. Oh, nice, we found a forbidden tome. You either fully clear the maps if you run the Chaos Recipe tool, or if running the Chaos Recipe tool is not something that you want to do at League Start, don't bother with fully clearing these maps, just go for the high value targets. Let's try to run a map with Delirium. Since we're not blocking Delirium on the map device, from time to time we're gonna get the Delirium Mirror. How can we run these maps? Well, there's pretty much 2 ways. If you're using the Chaos Recipe tool, you're gonna fully clear the maps, it doesn't really matter. If you're not using the Chaos Recipe tool, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna walk through the Delirium Mirror. You're gonna clear as many packs as you can until you get to Delirium level 4. And once you reach Delirium level 4, you're gonna end the encounter manually. After you've finished your Delirium Mirror, you've taken it to level 4, you've picked up your loot, then we're gonna go back to the high value targets approach, right? So we're skipping everything and we're looking for essences, we're looking for expeditions. Maybe you wanna click on the strong boxes. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but I'll leave that up to you. So we found an essence here. This is a high value target. Okay, and have some nice loot here. And they're going down. And we have another essence here. And now we're gonna explore the map. And let's see if we manage to find something else. Okay, this is how you run these maps. Let's do a small summary. You have 2 ways that you're gonna be running these maps. You either fully clear them, but if you're gonna fully clear them, use the Chaos Recipe tool. If you're not using the Chaos Recipe tool, go for the high value targets. Most maps are gonna have 3 high value targets: the essences, the map bosses, and the mechanic that you're gonna get most of the time since you're using a stream of consciousness and the block nodes. From time to time you're gonna get a Delirium Mirror. Once you walk through the Delirium Mirror, you're gonna clear as many packs as you can until you get to Delirium Rewards level 4, maybe level 5 in some good layout maps, and the Delirium manually at level 4. And then we skip everything and we only interact with the essences, the map bosses, the expeditions, or whatever other nice mechanic you wanna run in your low tier maps. And this was the backup farming strategy that you can run at League Start in low tier maps, tier 1 up to tier 5, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna farm some essences, you're gonna farm some other mechanics like expeditions, like harvest, and you're gonna have a lot of fun, and you're also gonna make quite a lot of currency, I'd say, once you start corrupting your essences after your first 50 maps. Up until that point, you're looking at around 300 chaos or so profit per hour. Now, for those of you that have builds that have enough power to farm tier 16 maps, this is a good Atlas skill tree that you can use on almost any build, because we're running blights, and although they're really difficult in tier 16 maps, you're using the blight towers to handle the difficulty, right? So they are hard if you're gonna try to clear them without towers, but if you're using a few arc towers, a few mid-tier towers, some chilling towers, some seismic towers. Well, they're not that difficult of a mechanic, especially with these nodes that have been added, right? We have a lot of increased damage taken on the monsters, and we also have the reduced cost of building and upgrading our towers. This is what I'm gonna run at the start of the league with my league starter, the Minion Army Necromancer. I am a bit unsure of these nodes right here. Heist has been nerfed, so maybe I'm gonna remove these points and put them somewhere else. Maybe some operative strong boxes for some nice gilded scarabs. I wish you a great league start. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, good luck, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.